Hi everybody, I'm Andy Wyke. Welcome back to another episode of All Pipes Considered. Something super special to talk about today, and that is Peterson's 2025 Pipe of the Year. A super special shape, another revival from the historic marque. Of course, this year is the 160th anniversary of Captain Peterson. And so they brought back this really awesome Paul shape. The historical shape designation for it is 02BB. Chris and I had the pleasure of visiting Peterson earlier this year, back in February, where we were able to see the first pipe that ever went through production from this line. Really kind of still in the R&D phases, but it was really just a pleasure to be able to see how that sort of shape came about. We spoke with Glen and Giacomo about the origins of the shape. So let's go to that real quick and check that out. Hey, I'm here with Glen Whelan. Glen,
hey, Andy.
Thank you so much.
Good to see you again.
Yeah, so among other things, today we're going to talk about the Pipe of the Year.
Yeah.
Right, so the Pipe of the Year for 2025. I know that you guys are still kind of early days on the R&D here, but
yeah,
we have decided on a shape, right?
We have.
Okay.
And you guys got the best of it. You got to see all the R&D that we talked so much about when we're talking about finished products. So you got an insight into what goes on here when we actually are in the development stage of a pipe. So for the consumer, that's it there. A lot of our consumers would recognize that as an O2 shape.
Yep.
We've gone for the more slender line one this year.
Yeah.
Classic style. And I think it's quintessential Peterson.
It's a gorgeous profile.
Yeah.
Like I really love it. What I think is super cool about it is that, it's a super iconic Peterson shape.
Yeah.
But I think that you guys did a really nice job of modernizing it without changing sort of the distinctive characteristics of the pipe, right? So
yeah, it's very classic.
The first time that I saw that in a catalog was in the 1896 catalog,
yeah.
Right? But it was listed as one of the oversized.
Yeah,
right?
In the system line.
Right, so oversized number 2, it was system.
Yeah, and had 356 designation as well in the standard lines.
Yeah. But I think this one was actually modeled off of a sort of a smaller version that came later, right?
It was a more slimline version in the old Rogers catalogue from 1939.
Okay.
That's the kind of earliest version that we know of in this classic style. And that's what we were going for with this year's Pipe of the Year.
So on the topic of Pipe of the Year, one of the things that I super appreciate about Peterson in general is I feel like every year you guys are sort of pushing the boundaries of what I thought was possible. So it's every year I feel like I see the Pipe of the Year or the prototype of the Pipe of the Year, and I'm like, oh my God, how did they do that? That looks so good. It's even the one that you're holding now, I know it's still early days, it's still in the R&D phase, but I feel like the execution just keeps getting better and better and better. And it's not to say that any of the previous ones were poorly executed. It's just I feel like you guys have really found your stride.
The
with
difficulty
Giacomo,
level is going up as well in the pipes we're producing.
In between Giacomo and all the guys in the factory, and papering in particular for this pipe, I feel like is something worth noting.
Absolutely. It's a usually collaborative effort, from the top right down. When we start up with an idea in the office, we involve many people from the very beginning.
So you've designed a lot of the Pipe of the Years in the past several years.
Yeah.
So can you tell me a little bit about how you sort of came up with this year's design, which is, sort of a revival of the O2?
Yeah, so the O2 was one of the shapes that we were looking for the new Pipe of the Year. There were few versions of the shape in 100 years of Peterson history. We decided to make for us the most iconic and beautiful, so the slender version, the taller version of the O2 shape. It's an on-pole shape, so a full bent pipe.
Yeah, so you and I were actually chatting a little bit off camera about the overall shape itself. And we were talking about the line and how because it's a full bit and it has that tapered stem, it does this really cool curvature, almost like an S. which I think is really cool. And I really like that shape in particular because it sort of has that like, you know, Jay Leno kind of chin going on, you know. It's a very pronounced chin, the like heel of the pipe. You know, it's a straight bowled billiard.
Yes.
But it does have that like, you know, not like Costello necessarily, but like, you know, like the old 55s, right, where it sort of juts out a little bit. It does give you that impression because it's such a strong bend, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's been a bit a challenge make the samples because the engineering of the pipe and the shape, it's very hard to make in practice.
Oh, I imagine.
So I made a few samples and then we decided for the best. The shank is almost parallel to the chamber, the head of the bowl. So it's very extreme. But the balance of this pipe, I think, is the best you can have in all the shape chart that exist in the pipe world.
The pipe looks like it has very straight lines. It does have straight lines, but when you're trying to maintain straight lines on a round bowl, like that tubular design is very difficult to maintain the shape in papering. It requires a huge level of control, skill, and just discipline as well. Like you have to be very patient with it.
And especially on this year's model, because the shank is very nearly parallel with the bowl itself.
Yeah, it's like even how the silver band lines up almost perfectly at the top of the bowl. There's a huge level of control involved, and then just the flow. Like, I just love that kind of swan neck flow.
It's really nice.
It's incredible.
It's super nice.
Yeah.
All right, so just to wrap things up, you know, we have sort of a slimline adaptation of the O2. It's a classic, so not a system. But I think it's just really neat, you know, like as far as pipe of the year goes, like most of the ones that we've released in the past several years have been system pipes.
System or army mount.
System or army mount. So it's really cool to see a classic configuration that's still so true to the Peterson house style, right?
But I think as well, like we refer to it as a slimline, but it's slimline and Peterson and Peterson aesthetic. It's still relatively muscular. It's just kind of that more free-flowing design.
Perfect. Well, Glen, thank you so much for walking us through it. We're super excited to get these in and you know, see what the full final selection looks like.
I'm looking forward to it. Everybody else seeing it too.
Yeah. Thanks. So there you have it. I mean, that was sort of the origins and how the actual shape came to be, and you know, now we're at the point where we can actually see the finished product. So before me today, we have a range of 2025 Pipe of the Years across some of Peterson's most iconic finishes, including barley, rua, as well as staples like heritage, terracotta, and rustic, of course. Really exceptional finishes on these, and I think being able to see that first pipe go through production and see it in the R&D phases and then be able to compare it to what we see now, I think is just such a cool experience. Obviously, as a Pete geek myself, I always look forward to Peterson's Pipe of the Year, and I think this year, particularly being the 160th anniversary of the marque, I think what they've come up with is something very, very special. It's very iconically Peterson, both in shape and line, as well as finishes, and I think all of you other Pete geeks out there are really going to dig this one. So be sure to go check them out on site now. A whole bunch of finishes, all of your sort of top tier premium end Peterson finishes, as well as the staples. So lots of variety to choose from, as well as a couple more surprises that maybe we don't have shown here. So be sure to check them out on site today, and thanks so much.